Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Our course material is also available for Hindi medium students. If you know a learner from Hindi medium, please share it with them. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos and do not forget to press the bell icon. In the last chapter we learned what is a resource, how many types of resources are there, and how can we preserve the resources. Chapter 2: Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. Did you know 90% of the world population occupies only 30% of land area? The remaining 70% of the land is either hardly populated or uninhabited. Land. Land is among the most important natural resources. It covers only about 30% of the total area of the Earth's surface, and all parts of this small percentage are not habitable. The uneven distribution of population in different parts of the world is mainly due to varied characteristics of land and climate. The rugged topography, steep slopes of the mountains, low-lying areas vulnerable to waterlogging, desert areas, and thick forested areas are normally hardly populated or uninhabited. Plains and river valleys offer suitable land for agriculture. Hence, these are the densely populated areas of the world. Land use. Land is used for different purposes, such as agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads, and setting up of industries. This is commonly termed as land use. The use of land is determined by physical factors such as topography, soil, climate, minerals and availability of water. Human factors such as population and technology are also important determinants of land use pattern. Land can also be classified on the basis of ownership as private land and community land. Private land is owned by individuals, whereas community land is owned by the community for common uses, like collection of fodder, fruits, nuts, medicinal herbs and more. These community lands are also called common property resources. People and their demands are ever growing, but the availability of land is limited. The quality of land also differs from place to place. People started encroaching the common lands to build up commercial areas, housing complexes in the urban areas, and to expand the agricultural land in the rural areas. Today, the vast changes in the land use pattern also reflect the cultural changes in our society. Land degradation, landslides, soil erosion, and desertification are the major threats to the environment because of the expansion of agriculture and construction activities. Conservation of land resource. Growing population and their ever-growing demand has led to a large-scale destruction of forest cover and arable land, which has created a fear of losing this natural resource. Therefore, the present rate of degradation of land must be checked. Afforestation, land reclamation, regulated use of chemical pesticide and fertilizers, and checks on overgrazing are some of the common methods used to conserve land resources. Soil. The thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is called soil. It is closely linked to land. Landforms determine the type of soil. Soil is made up of organic matter, minerals, and weathered rocks found on the earth. This happens through the process of weathering. The right mix of minerals and organic matter make the soil fertile. Landslides. Landslides are simply defined as the mass movement of rock, debris, or we can say the earth's surface down a slope. They often take place in conjunction with earthquakes, floods and volcanoes. A prolonged spell of rainfall can cause heavy landslide that can block the flow of a river for quite some time. The formation of river blocks can cause havoc to the settlements, which can lead to bursting of river, resulting in a landslide. In the hilly terrain, landslides have been a major and widely spread natural disaster that often strike life and property and occupy a position of a major concern. Mitigation mechanism. Advancement in scientific techniques has empowered us to understand what factors cause landslides and how to manage them. Some broad mitigation techniques of landslide are: first, hazard mapping, to locate areas prone to landslides. Such areas can be avoided for building properties. Second, construction of retention wall to stop land from slipping. Third, increase in the vegetation cover to stop landslides. And fourth, the surface drainage control works that can control the movement of landslide along with rainwater and spring flows. Factors of soil formation. The major factors of soil formation are the nature of parent rocks and climatic factors. Other factors are topography, role of organic material, and time taken for the composition of soil formation. However, all these factors differ from place to place. Parent rocks determine the color, texture, chemical properties, minerals, content, and permeability. Climate, temperature and rainfall influence rate of weathering and humus formation. Flora and fauna and microorganisms affect the rate of humus formation. Relief is determined by accumulation of soil by altitude and slope, and time determines the thickness of soil. Degradation of soil and conservation measures. Soil erosion and depletion are the major threats to soil as a resource. Both human and natural factors can lead to degradation of soils. Factors which lead to soil degradation are deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemical fertilizers or pesticide, rainwash, landslides and floods. Some methods of soil conservation are: first, mulching. The bare ground between plants is covered with a layer of organic matter like a straw. It helps to retain soil moisture. Second, contour barriers. Stones, grass, and soil are used to build barriers along the contours. Trenches are made in front of the barriers to collect water. Third, rock dam. Rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of water to prevent gullies and further soil loss. Fourth, terrace farming. Broad flat steps or terraces are made on the steep slopes so that flat surfaces are available to grow crops. They reduce surface runoff and soil erosion. Fifth, intercropping. Different crops are grown in alternate rows and are sown at different times to protect the soil from rainwash. Sixth, contour plowing. To form a natural barrier for water to flow down the slope, plowing is done parallel to the contours of a hill slope. And seventh, shelter belts. In the coastal and dry regions, rows of trees are planted to check the wind movement to protect soil cover. Water. Water is a vital renewable natural resource, and 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water. It is therefore appropriately called water planet. Almost 3.5 billion years back, life began in the oceans. Even today, the oceans cover 2/3 of the Earth's surface and support a rich variety of plant and animal life. The ocean water is saline and not fit for human consumption, and fresh water accounts for only about 2.7%. Nearly 70% of this occurs as ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland, and mountain regions. Due to their location, they are inaccessible. Hence, only 1% of fresh water is available and fit for human use. It is found as ground or surface water, in rivers and lakes, and as water vapor in the atmosphere. Fresh water is therefore the most precious substance on Earth. Water can neither be added nor subtracted from the Earth, and its total volume remains constant. The abundance of water only seems to vary because it is in constant motion and cycling through the oceans, the air, the land and back again through the processes of evaporation and precipitation. This is called the water cycle. Humans use huge amounts of water not only for drinking and washing but also in the process of production. There are other uses of water, such as water for agriculture, industries, generating electricity through reservoirs of dams and others. Increasing population, rising demands for food and cash crops, increasing urbanization, and rising standards of living are some of the major factors leading to shortages in supply of fresh water, either due to drying up of water sources or water pollution.